Don't have time for a full breakdown, but I want to point out a couple of key things that I'm looking forward to in game 2 of the Pacers and Knicks series based on what I saw in game 1. Yes, the ending of game 1 was insane. The Pacers are clear. If you don't believe in the Pacers at this point, you're just a hater, because they've made it clear that they're a team that's not going to give up, and that's the first key. The Knicks have to close out the game well, which game 1 honestly surprised me. Knicks, to me, are notoriously known for closing out games well because they have Jalen Brunson. All this season when I watch the Knicks, I'm always like, well, they might be down 10 at half, but if they're within like 8, 9, 10 points with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I like their odds. I've always liked the Knicks' odds of closing out games well. So yes, part of it for sure. Aaron Naismith went God mode in them last 4 minutes, scoring 20 points in like a 4.5 minute time span. But a big part of what made that possible was that the Knicks were moving too fast down the stretch. They had a couple of possessions where they went for a basket right away and only shaved off 5 or even less seconds off the clock. They needed to drain some more time their offensive possessions down the stretch of that game, and they didn't. A couple of things I did like for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns looked, in my opinion, way too comfortable if I'm the Pacers. There were many times in that game where it didn't look like a single person on the Pacers could guard Jalen Brunson. I'm still not convinced anyone on the Pacers can guard Jalen Brunson. Whether it was Naismith, whether it was Nembhard, shoot, Ben Shepherd came off the bench and got some minutes in this game just to try to do something different defensively. He looked comfortable, especially in that mid-range and that mid-post that he loves so much, against any Indiana defender. He didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but that mid-range game and that around the basket game, he looked very comfortable. I thought Karl-Anthony Towns was fantastic in terms of when he decided to pop or when he decided to roll. Honestly, both him and Miles Turner were leaving each other way too open to start that game. Both teams have to clean up their pick and roll defense, bouncing around a little bit, but I thought the Pacers defense was specifically really, really bad when both TJ McConnell and Thomas Bryant were on the floor. I thought the Knicks did an excellent job of taking advantage of those two in pick and roll situations, especially Thomas Bryant when he was guarding Mitchell Robinson. He wasn't sticking with Mitchell Robinson fast enough on those rolls, and speaking of Mitchell Robinson, he was fantastic in that game 1. As soon as he checked in, I want to say he got 3 offensive rebounds in his first 3 possessions. 1 he got fouled on, 1 led to an open 3, and 1 led to another score for the Knicks. His offensive rebounding has been and will continue to be huge for the Knicks. The Pacers have to figure out what to do there, because honestly, I don't think the Pacers are big enough to match up with the Knicks' size. I love Miles Turner. I think he honestly had a really good first half. Fell off a bit in that second half. I need him to have a consistent game. And I'm saying this, yes, you won game 1. Yes, you stole home court advantage. And yes, Aaron Naismith has been shooting the leather off the ball in the playoffs. A lot of people are saying what he did was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It's not going to happen again. I mean, he's shooting over 50% from 3 in the playoffs. Before game 1, he was shooting over 40% from 3 on the season. Naismith had the 3rd highest 3-point percentage in the NBA for the regular season. He does this. He is a shooter. Still bouncing around. I thought Tyrese Halliburton looked fantastic in this game, even outside of the shot that sent the game into overtime. I thought when he was on the floor, he controlled the offense well. He looked for his shot at times. He had a really, really good game, in my opinion. There were a couple of moments where I thought the Pacers could get a little rattled, and he made sure to settle the offense and got a good bucket when the Knicks might have been on a 5-0 or a 7-0 run. Tyrese was there to answer that run. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, I think the Pacers did a really good job of staying at this game. The Knicks had the lead for most of this game, but they never really let it get out of hand. It was always 5-point lead here, 7-point lead there. I think it got to 10 at one point, if I'm not mistaken, but it just never felt like it was out of reach. And honestly, until the very end, when they were up like 14 with, I think, like 5 minutes left. That was the first moment where I thought, oh, okay, it might be over. But I'm also like, this Pacers team does not give up. Little all over the place, but I wanted to get this up before game 2. Game 1 was obviously a nail biter, and truthfully, I think we're going to see more games finish like game 1 did than blowouts in this series. I think these teams are that close.